episode of Team Healing. And today we're going to be talking about why God is not angry with you. Now, this one is a really big one. It's really interesting how, when you go into the Christian community, most Christians would say that I don't know if me and God are a thou wow. You know what I mean? I don't know if me and God are 1000% in the right relationship, because most of them have been brought up being told that, you and God might not be angry, might not be happy with you, he might be angry with you. Well, God is not angry with you because anger is a very interesting emotion. Anger basically assumes that you and a certain person have an agreement, and then when that person violates that agreement, that's when anger is triggered. Now, when we put anger towards, maybe the word is wrath, when we put wrath onto God, we assume that me and God had an agreement and I violated that agreement. But I would love, 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 love to do a PSA to everyone out there that God and you do not have an agreement. If you did, you would super violate it all the time. That's basically the story of the Bible, of how people got two-way agreements, because there's a difference between a one-way agreement and a two-way agreement. They got two-way agreements with God, and they didn't fulfill their end of the bargain, right? So that's when anger was triggered. Where we find anger or wrath in the Bible is in one relationship, which is, yep, you guessed it, the Mosaic relationship or the Mosaic covenant, because it was a two-way covenant, meaning that God had to fulfill his part of the bargain, and the people of Israel also had to fulfill their end of the deal. And if they violated that, then, wrath and anger would go through the whole Bible. So when someone who has no idea what the Bible is, or has no idea what Christianity is, when they pick it up and they flip to, obviously because the Mosaic covenant is the biggest in the Bible, when they flip to any page, they just see, I am angry with you. And they're like, oh, this God is such an angry God. But he is actually not an angry God. In 1 Timothy, Paul calls him the happy God, the Macarius God. That's Greek for blessed, the Macarius God. God is happy. He's not an angry God. So let's circle back. Where do we find anger and why is it there? So there is anger in the Bible because of the covenant that it is in, which is the Mosaic covenant. And we know that we are not in the Mosaic covenant, we're in the Jesus covenant. So the question is there anger in the Jesus covenant? And the answer is no, because the agreement is not between you and God, but the covenant is between God and Jesus. Why? So that you do not mess it up. How brilliant is that? Because basically what God found out is that creating a two covenant with man is such a mess. So he created a two-way covenant with himself, which is Jesus, right? And now you are inserted inside of Jesus, and that way you do not have any way of breaking up this covenant. That's why there can never be an instance where God is angry with you, or God has wrath towards you, because wrath comes from an agreement being broken. That's where the emotion comes from. Just like how when you see someone, I don't know, I'm just shooting off the hip here. When you see someone in the street and they do something that is uncanny, there's a universal agreement of how humans should interact in the world. So obviously when you see that agreement being broken, you get angry. That's why most people get angry. But I just want to break it down to you today that God is not, N-O-T, is not angry with you. So you cannot say, oh man, God is angry with me. No, you need to get that out your mind. God can never be angry with you. Awesome. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments, and yeah, like, share, subscribe. I am pretty sure someone needs to hear this, that God is not angry with you. He is not. Imagine being a pastor. God is not angry with you. But the opposite is done in these churches, like, God is angry with you. You did not go to church on the Sabbath. But no, God is not angry with you. The covenant is not with you, it's with Jesus. You have been inserted. The church has been inserted inside of Jesus. So we cannot violate the covenant. It's a one-way street. Awesome. Peace.